Hello and welcome to a new episode of Bite-Sized Book History. I'm your host, Allie Alvis. I'm a special collections librarian and book historian who moonlights as @BookHistoria on Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. As a great poet once said, "You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round." Dead or Alive may not have been talking about volvels, but they could have been. Long before the invention of digital computers or calculators, volvels could save you from a great deal of manual figuring if you knew how to use them. Volvels are instruments made of paper or parchment that, when aligned correctly, can give you a lot of information about a variety of topics. The word volvel comes from the Latin volvere, to turn. The Getty Museum calls the volvel a cousin of the astrolabe, but really the astrolabe is more like the volvel's great-grandparent. Astrolabes are metal mechanical objects used to track the path of celestial objects over time, which made them extremely useful to navigators and astronomers. These devices were invented back in ancient Greece. You may have heard of the mysterious Antikythera mechanism. This is, in fact, an early astrolabe. You can really see the family resemblance between volvels and astrolabes when you put them side by side. Although volvels are probably best known as printed paper astronomical instruments, they actually have their origins in mystical and alchemical manuscripts. Ramon Llull, a 13th century mystic, is credited with bringing the volvel to the West. His 1302 manuscript, the Ars Magna, or Great Art, is now housed in the British Library and contains what is probably the first volvel. This volvel was made of 3 stacked circles with 9 letters on each, and when aligned correctly, it purportedly told you the secrets to creation and could predict the future. Llull worked in the Kingdom of Majorca in modern-day Spain, which was once part of the Almohad Caliphate. Llull based the design of his volvel on the Arabic zayrja, a complex tool that combines astrology, divination, and a spelling bee to predict the future. To use the zayrja, a user would spell out their question and run each individual letter through the chart, which, based on astronomical predictions, would spit out the letters to make an answer. I have read in various blog posts and articles that Al-Biruni, the 10th century Persian astronomer, was the first person to make what is a true volvel, but none of these articles or blog posts say exactly what work the volvel was in. If you happen to know what work the volvel was in, please drop a comment below. I would really love to find out. But volvels and those who used them became suspected of dark magic if they worked too well. The Catholic Church included several books with volvels in their 1559 Index of Forbidden Books. Yves de Paris' 1654 Astrologia Nova Methodius was ordered to be burnt for its astrological predictions. Books with volvels didn't just roll off the printing press ready to be used. It was up to the buyer to assemble them. It's always interesting to see unassembled volvels. They really give off some IKEA furniture vibes. And luckily, like IKEA furniture, they often came with instructions on how to assemble them. Some print shops, like the print shop of one Petrus Appianus, would assemble the volvels for you, but they were few and far between and tended to specialize in books with movable parts. The works of Appianus, also known as Peter Appian, 16th century German mathematician, are considered to be the height of the volvel as an art form. In fact, volvels are sometimes referred to as Appian wheels. Appianus was a printer in addition to a mathematician, and his first work, the 1524 Cosmographicus Liber, contained volvels that could be used to compute calendar problems, find the position of celestial bodies, and calculate latitude. It was wildly successful, and even caught the attention of Holy Roman Emperor Charles V, who funded Appianus's masterpiece, the Astronomicum Caesarium. The work describes comets, constellations, and gives a means of calculating the location of the planets. With its decorative and intricate volvels, each of them hand-colored, this book took 8 years to produce. It was printed between 1532 and 1540. The volvelles in this work follow Ptolemy's geocentric model of the solar system, which, unfortunately, became out of date only 3 years after the publication of the Astronomicon, when Copernicus published his De Revolutionibus Orbium Celestium, which posited the sun as the center. Only around 100 copies of the Astronomicon survive today, and their bright colors make them difficult to exhibit for long periods of time. So if you've seen one, consider yourself lucky. Like anything with movable parts, volvelles were easy to be broken. I unfortunately don't own any books with volvelles, but I do own one that used to have a volvelle. This early 19th century work of geography has a frontispiece which used to function as a clock. You can see it here. And when you get up close, you can see sort of a ghost of a string, indicating that at one point this volvelle was whole and able to be used. This book was a school book, and so well loved and used by students, and it's really not surprising that it lacks this movable piece. Books containing volvelles are held by libraries all over the world. Yale's Beinecke Library alone holds over 175 books containing volvelles. Although 21st century technology makes computations easy to do with a bevy of digital tools that fit in your pocket, some disciplines still do use volvelles. You pilots out there will recognize this E6B flight calculator, which can quickly give you answers to problems like angle of correction for crosswind, and how much fuel you will burn if the wind blows at a certain speed in a certain direction. And volvelles aren't just for calculations, sometimes they're just cool. In 1970, Led Zeppelin released their third album, Led Zeppelin III, which contained an interior volvelle. You could spin the volvelle by moving the tab at the edge of the album cover. This would reveal the faces of the band in addition to other little designs through holes that were punched in the cover. The volvelle was even included when the album was re-released on CD. So with this little bit of rock and roll history, this wraps up this episode of Bite-Sized Book History. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment so you can be notified when I post new videos. And please comment below with ideas for other topics you would like to see episodes of Bite-Sized Book History on. I'm almost done recording this season of Bite-Sized Book History, so I am looking for new topics for the next season. And with that, it's time to sign off and remind you, as always, don't bite your books. See you next time.